Some people love me, and they don't even know I have a hard time loving myself. Some people judge me, and they don't even know I have a hard time judging myself. Life gets ugly, but I got a paintbrush and paint a pretty smile on myself. Mouth stay shut even when I need help. In too deep in the water, Mike Phelps. Swimming lessons, I still got many. Be grateful, count your blessings. Just give me my salad, you keep the dressing. Cause I'm cream of the crop. He paid the price, I'm worth a lot. He told me go, why would I stop? Rest on my thoughts, jump off the tire rope. D-Lo Brown with the frog splash. Leaps of faith, what I call that. If you hit my line for the old me, when I hang up on you, don't call back. I ain't gonna block my blessings, I'd rather block your number. Life taught me so many lessons, Been down bad, never under. That's breath in my lungs. Some people die young, where I come from. Woke up and gave thanks to Father and Son. Filled with the Spirit, I shine like the sun. Ghost in me, but I ain't haunted. Bad vibes, keep them, don't want it. Pride hard to swallow, doggone it. And you were really never my opponent. I'm fighting evil, man, they hearts black. They wanted my life, told them back. Got an itch for sin, can't scratch that. Keep the truth loaded in the black gap. Just know if I said it, I'm in it, and they gon' take it back. Learn the game riding in my granddaddy's Cadillac. Young man, old song, imagine that. Ain't in my control, gotta pray, let them handle that. God hit my line, gave me to play. Roger that, gang torn, alright, you hate like a running back. If you ain't catch everything I said, better run it back. Eating up this beat, break bread, where your sandwich at, y'all? Thought I was done? No, this beat ain't like Kobe, I'm 2-4. My God, sick old mode, he too cold. I'm skating on beats, frozen with the flow.
I've been on the road, I've been doing shows. Now we eating steak, remember sleeping on the floor. We stillin' at the gas station when the time was cold. In the kitchen, hot, still tryna flip it out the stove. Rockin' fake J's, praying that nobody know. Watch them take my dog away, it was way too hard to stay composed. Fight to see the light of day, all this blood on my clothes. I was tired every day, green light, it's time to go. I don't wanna live life fast or die too young. Die too young. 100 miles per hour, I might crash, cause the good die young. Yeah, the good die young. Push it to the limit, I can't go no more. Red light, no way, I'm coming back home. Long dirt road, all on my own. I'ma be the greatest, write my name in the stone. Write my name in the stone. Yeah, I'm coming back home. Yeah, I'm coming back home. Write my name in the stone. Cause I'm coming back home. Cause I'm coming back home. Right back where I left because I know my people needed me. Diamond in the rough, I don't know what it is they see in me. Go down as a legend in my city cause we beat the streets. Trying to spread the wealth around the block, no I can't keep from me. Told me I should leave. I see the bigger picture and it's way bigger than me. Can't be living like a king, but my people need to eat. If I got it, then you got it, we gon' get back on our feet. And I put that on me. I don't wanna live life fast or die too young. Or die too young. 100 miles per hour, I might crash cause good die young. Yeah, but here I come. Push it to the limit, I can't go no more. Red light, no way, I'm coming back home. Long dirt road, all on my own. I'ma be the greatest, write my name in the stone. Write my name in the stone. Yeah, I'm coming back home. Yeah, I'm coming back home. Write my name in the stone. Cause I'm coming back home. Cause I'm coming back home. I'm coming back home. I'm coming back home. Y'all coming back home. Y'all coming back home. I'm coming back home. Y'all coming back. Push it to the limit, I can't go no more. Red light, no way, I'm coming back home. Long dirt road, all on my own. I'ma be the greatest, write my name in the stone. Write my name in the stone. Yeah, I'm coming back home. Yeah, I'm coming back home. Write my name in the stone. Cause I'm coming back home. Yeah, I'm coming back home. Write my name in the stone. Cause I'm coming back home. Yeah, I'm coming back home.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Ayy, on the road, here we go. Yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming on my landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command like. Yeah, you about to see me on demand like. You know on demand. If If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't never going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Hey, on the roll, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll. Hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on the roll, here we go, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Hey, on the roll, here we go, yeah. At the top of the class on a roll. Hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on the roll, here we go, here we go. Here we go. On a roll, here we go, here we go.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Frankie Candles live stream every single weekday right here at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on the Frankie Candles YouTube channel. Guys, get the sticker off the hat here. Guys, coming soon. Not available just yet, but coming soon. We got the Bing Bong hats. Shout out to Tony D for dropping this off to me. I appreciate you, bro. But guys, before we get into it, I am in bad shape right now. I am running a fever. My head is throbbing. I'm sweating. I take off my sweatshirt. I'm freezing. I put it back on. I'm sweating. I feel like absolute garbage, but with the missed streams last week, I refused to cancel this stream, but it is going to be a short one. This is not my choice, guys. But yeah, may not be as loud and exciting as we typically are because my head is already throbbing. But I wanted to get up here, guys, and I wanted to talk about the price of Bitcoin and where we can expect things to go in the near term here. And then I also wanted to touch briefly on XRP as XRP has defeated the SEC. I say that kind of lightheartedly once again. And I know a lot of people are wondering why XRP is not really pumping that hard. So I want to cover that as well as Bitcoin, and then we might go ahead and cut it off there, and then we'll do the wheel spins, and maybe we'll double up on altcoins tomorrow. Again, I apologize. I do want to get good sleep tonight because I am going to be on the Jason Casper YouTube channel tomorrow at about 7, but it's going to be a pre-record that we got to shoot a little bit earlier, so I don't want to push through this and then be completely destroyed tomorrow. But yeah, we're going to push through it. We're going to take a look at Bitcoin. We're going to take a look at XRP, and maybe ETH, maybe the DXY. I'm going to try to go as long as I can, but very, very low chances that I make this through the entire 2 hours. This is the sickest I've been, or the worst I've felt in quite some time. But shout out to Creighton C. Thank you for that $9.99 super chat, bro. He says, bro, I got it too. Don't worry, it gets worse. That's what I'm worried about. Oftentimes, guys, I will get a little under the weather. Usually, it's like you could chalk it up to like overworked or just like not well rested. I am 100% sick right now. I'm on medicine. It's really, really, really bad. I was very, very close to canceling the stream tonight, but I just couldn't do it with all the missed streams last week. So hopefully this Motrin kicks in so we can get through the TA. But before we get into it, guys, don't forget to smash that like button. Every 100 likes, you guys get a spin on that wheel of pain and pleasure, which we will be spinning probably tomorrow. But the spins still count. The likes still count. And we're going to be giving away some really cool stuff. We're going to be giving away some free crypto, some Frankie Candles hats. Not this one, but the Frankie Candles hat. This is kind of a sample of a new hat that we'll have. Yeah, it's going to be good. But shout out to Dave Digital said, you make us proud. Shout out to Dave Digital. I love you, bro. Thank you for saying that. Dave, Dad, look at me. I'm on TV, even though I'm sick. But yeah, guys. Also, I kind of just wanted to talk about Bitcoin. Yeah, shout out to anybody who was in the live stream last night, guys. Got destroyed on that Pepe long. As soon as we ended the stream, instant liquidation. But obviously, you guys know, we basically entered that for fun and based off very little technical analysis. So, and I think I said, don't do this, you'll lose all your money. And here we are. Lesson learned. You're going to lose all your money if you just willy-nilly enter trades. That's why you want to set those key levels, your trap, and then wait for price to approach your key levels. And you don't want to take trades that are not there, like we did yesterday. Absolutely wrecked. I wanted to put me crying on the thumbnail with a Pepe frog, but we figured the XRP one was better. All right, let's go ahead and continue on here. Shout out to Carlos. Said, sorry, you got the, I don't know if that's what it is. I think it does start with a C, though. But shout out to Carlos. I appreciate that super chat, bro. But let's go ahead and dive on in to the chat and see who we got in here. We got Crypto Champagne. What is going on? Yeah, shout out to him. He says XRP to 34K. Yeah, guys, I know like the XRP price targets are once again going rampant on YouTube, on Twitter, on TikTok. All these crazy XRP price predictions are popping up. Is it going to 10K? Is there going to be a $32,000 buyback? I still remain in my same stance, guys. That is simply just not going to happen. That is hopium. That is people trying to go viral. That is people trying to get views. XRP, in my opinion, is not going to 10K or even $100 at least anytime soon. And I do want to talk about some realistic price targets for XRP, maybe even in the next bull run. But shout out to Holiday, says that hat is clean AF. 100. Let me cop one. Shout out to Holiday. They will be available on the new Frankie Candles merch store very, very soon. Gonna wait for Tony to let me know when we get those in stock, but I figured I'd tease it a little bit here. I'm pretty picky with my hats, guys. This one actually fits pretty good. It's not the same hat that we have for the Frankie Candles hats, but this one's pretty fire. Brim is a nice angle naturally. It's pretty nice. We try to get the highest quality stuff for you guys while trying to keep the price down because we know nobody really wants to spend $80 on a hat because sometimes they get pretty expensive, especially when you're trying to make a little bit of profit. It's very, very hard. But we always try to keep it cheap for you guys. Tony D says, I think we will do it with the same hats for the merch from the merch shop. That would be better. Those are even higher quality. But guys, shout out to Tony D. Shout out to our mods. You guys know who they are. We got Chemistry Bro, Rob the Crypto Snob, Crypto Anon, Crypto Billy. You guys know who they are. Show them some love in the chat. We got Bar not center. I don't know how to say that, but we got Bar in the chat. What is going on? He says, let's go. Shout out to you, bro. We got Cheeks. We got Bullish on Parade. Frankie's Candle in the chat. Shout out to my candle. And the other TJ said, no, yeah. I don't want to even say that out loud, but shout out to you, bro. Thank you for tuning in. I'm my hero, Creighton C, Death Burka, Crypto Nate B, and Darren Does Things. Shout out to you guys as my head throbs. Let's go ahead and jump right into the price action and talk a little bit about the Bitcoins. Here we go. So, guys, here we are on the Bitcoin chart, clearly, and we are getting a little bit of a push to the upside. Now, really what I want to do here before we dive into the local price action, I want to go ahead and take a little bit of a zoom out here to the higher time frames. Go ahead and turn off that TA and just go ahead and analyze a little bit of what is going on here on Market Cypher B. Now, as you guys know, we are starting to get a little bit of a crossover into the green on our money flow on the weekly. Now, this is likely going to take a lot of time to develop and confirm. We still have 4 days and 3 hours for this to confirm. Now, this would be somewhat of a bullish sign, in my opinion. However, we do need to be careful that we are not just going to come up and put in a lower high here. We did talk about, if we pull up the Bitstamp chart here real quick, we talked about this yesterday on the live stream. Go ahead and hide that. We talked about the money flow on the weekly during a similar time in the cycle on yesterday's live stream, right? You could see we peaked out in our bear market rally at about $14,000 right about here as the money flow was crossing over into the red. As we topped off here and started to bleed out slightly, money flow did wind up crossing back over into the red. And you can actually see here, if you really, really zoom in, you actually did wind up getting a little bit of a fake out into the green before coming back into the red and then into a bigger green wave. And we have to be ready for a potential fake out to come in here. Really what I'm looking for to now here's the thing, guys. My general sentiment on Bitcoin, again, remains exactly the same. I am looking for price to potentially continue up a little bit higher, but only to put in a lower high on the higher time frames and then reversing back to the downside. Now, one thing that I'm going to be watching very closely here is going to be Did this just uncross over into the red, or were we looking at the 6-day before? No. What is going on here? So we are back in the red. It is playing around, crossing over into the green. But again, what we want to be careful of is the possibility of just coming up here and faking out into the green and basically just putting in a lower high before winding up, turning back around and coming down to potentially break these lows closer to about $25,000. So general sentiment in the long term is going to remain almost exactly the same there, guys. But that one thing I am going to be paying a close eye, keeping a close eye on is going to be that weekly money flow. And then that green dot obviously is confirmed. That's one of the things that was making us anticipate a potential move to the upside. It was one of those bullish puzzle pieces, letting us know that sitting at this value area low may have been a good time to look for a long position. And for anybody who is interested, I am still in my long. Let me go ahead and see if I am still in my long here from about $25,250. Let me go ahead and see if I can pop that up. So I am still in this long right now. I was actually in a scalp long as well, but I went to take profits on it. I went to take a little bit of extra profit on it, and then decided to just close it in full because I am still in my bigger long position. So I just wanted to cop a little bit of a scalp here, which did get me my gains back from the Pepe loss that I took yesterday, even though that was a very, very small trade. But did catch that scalp long. I don't know, is that marked out here? Yeah, just a little bit of a scalp long. Looking to ride this up potentially up to this daily level that we have. Let me actually label this. Up to this daily level that we have sitting at about 27,964, almost 28K. We also have a golden pocket sitting right at this level as well, or very, very close to it. So looking for price to potentially get another push into these levels, and I will be looking for short positions if we do wind up continuing up. Now, do I think we can continue up locally? I will say this. One thing that we do have on our side, let me hide these trades real quick. Whoops, I just don't want to delete that. I just want to hide it. But one thing I do want to kind of talk about here, guys, is if we could come up a little bit more here before getting a bigger push to the downside. And I will say this, taking a look at our 12-hour, well, let's take a look at the daily here. Daily money flow is now crossing over into the green. Right? We have that red dot printing on market cipher B, but the money flow is crossing over into the green. What does this mean? This means that the trend is likely to continue to the upside, right? Not that we are going to instantly yeet up on a Lambo candle up to our higher targets, but the trend is likely to continue to the upside. We have a low, a high, a higher low, a higher high, higher low. Potentially, even if we come down a little bit more, we could still put in a higher low and continue the overall trend to the upside, right? But with this red dot, we could potentially be looking for a little bit of a cool off down to some of those key levels we were paying attention to yesterday, which for the most part, those all do remain exactly the same. So now, and another kind of nice thing here that we have, guys, is that we, now, again, like, what was part of the reason I was looking for the scalp long here? Well, we talked about this yesterday on the live stream. We have the value area high as well as many other confluences within this blue box. Now, we talked about this, again, we talked about how oftentimes when you get a breakout out of one of these value areas, oftentimes you will get a push to the upside, and then price will turn back around and test that value area high as support before potentially getting a significant bounce, or I don't know if I should say significant, but before we start to look for support for a potential scalpable move to the upside, which is that trade that I just closed before the stream. So, with that being said, it is kind of nice that we have this volume profile to keep an eye on, because now we have insight into, you know, if certain key levels start to break, we can start to look down and have a good idea of where price is likely to go. So again, if we do wind up, let's just say, for example, let's say we do wind up coming up into this golden pocket daily level, you know, we could potentially get that move down. And if we start to lose this value area low, you now know where the next likely spots for Bitcoin to go are. And those likely spots are going to lie on the POC and potentially even the value area low of this range, coming in at about $25,600. Now, this second blue box right here, starting at about $26,205, this is going to be another big level I'm keeping an eye on, because if we go ahead and I do just, I'm not going to pull it up right now because I'm not logged in, but we will be looking for, if we do get below that value area high, I will be first off looking for a potential bounce off this blue box because we have a basically a hot block of liquidation levels sitting around $26,300. So this, just like we were looking at those liquidation levels just above this high, right? If you guys remember from the live stream the other day, we were looking at that liquidation heat map, letting us know that there was a lot of liquidation points sitting just above this high, which is why we were expecting to get this push up above this high to come up and then reject from these levels up here after sweeping that liquidity and then reversing back to the downside. So in a very, very similar fashion, we know that between, I believe, about $26,300 and about $26,000, there is going to be a decent bit of liquidation levels there, which could act as a magnet for price as the market likes to seek out liquidity. And also, we also have that kind of backup confirmation of the POC being down here, which we know also works as a magnet. So with that being said, guys, as my head throbs here, as we're looking at this, that's kind of what I would be looking for if we do get that continued push to the upside, potentially looking, remember, we do have that daily red dot printing, which could wind up giving us a little bit of a cool off before putting in another higher low and continuing back to the upside. And it could also potentially manifest itself as consolidation, right? Just that red dot doesn't mean that we're instantly going to nuke. It could just mean that we're going to come back down and kind of bing bong around here. But again, key levels of support for me are still going to be within this blue box. Even if we push a little bit deeper into the bottom of this blue box, still going to be a key level of support for me to be looking for some long positions. And again, taking a look at the 12-hour, could be looking for a green dot to pop up here on Market Cypher B very soon. And why is this important? Well, the reason it's important is because if you come on down to the 45-minute, look what we have happening here. We have a money flow crossover happening almost at the same time as getting that 12-hour green dot, which we know can oftentimes give us a little bit of a bigger move, to the upside. Now, if we do wind up continuing up here, guys, I will say, if we are able to come up and potentially hit this 786, this is also going to be a big level that I will be looking for some heavy resistance. So let me go ahead and mark this out. This level is sitting between about 28.3 and 28, almost 28K even, basically where I would be looking to take that final TP if I didn't just close the whole position. That is the final TP in that little scalp long from down here that we put in the premium Discord. So that's kind of what I'm looking for on Bitcoin, guys. Again, being very careful with that daily red dot, as again, it may give us some consolidation, but a little bit more locally, if that 45-minute red dot doesn't give us a huge move down, we may be able to see this VWAP continue up, come back down and then reset itself for a potential another move to the upside. So now hyper locally, in the next hour or so, I will say you do have this 45-minute bearish divergence, which is pretty clear here. I'm actually going to let me pull a range on this just to get some context into what we're looking at here. So here you go, right? Like what is happening here? We do have a hyperlocal range. We are now deviating outside of the value area and putting in a bearish divergence here on the 45-minute time frame, as well as other time frames as well. We could see this on the 30-minute. It is currently printing. So even if we are going to continue up hyperlocally, we could potentially be coming down in the short term just to retrace before getting that green dot on the 12-hour, which could push us up a little bit higher. So kind of gave you the hyperlocal, the local, and then the longer term analysis here, because I never know really how to split that up, because this information is only going to be good if I'm only looking at long term. It's really only going to be good for the people who are looking for long term trades, and then if you don't cover the local, people who are day trading might not get the value. So I kind of just wanted to cover all three bases there. So short term, potential bearish divergence looking to bring us down in the short term, and then if we do come up and put in a higher low, we could wind up continuing back up based off that 12-hour 45-minute money flow crossover. So that is essentially what I am looking at on Bitcoin right now, guys. And let me catch up to chat really, really quickly. Let's see. Bada boom. Okay. Oh, God. Oh, Golden gifting those 20 Frankie Candles memberships. Shout out to Golden. It's really hard for me not to scream for you, bro. But my head is throbbing. Shout out to Golden, man. I see those emojis in chat. I see he gifted those 20 memberships. Shout out to you, bro. Thank you so much for all the support. And shout out to the CandleMafia and anybody who just got a free membership. Let's go. Shout out to everybody. Smile said, to be frank, Frank, get your diet right, get your sleep right, avoid any unhealthy substances. Sorry, I can't help Sorry, I can't help with avoiding the stress, but we need you healthy. Be well. Shout out to everybody. Smile. I appreciate that so much, bro. Yeah. I don't know. It is really rare that I actually get a legitimate fever and I get like legitimately sick. And this is one of those rare. I don't know if you guys can see me sweating here. This is I'm in pretty bad shape right now, to be honest. But like I said, I was not canceling another live stream. But we are definitely going to cut it a little bit short. But guys, that is what I am looking at on our. That is what I am looking at. Sorry, checking the bat phone here just a little bit. Yeah, Bitfrog lost on Pepe. I didn't lose on Pepe. I got absolutely obliterated, which is nice. I mean, it's not nice. It's very bad. But it was kind of I'm not upset about it. Number one, because it was a very small trade for me. It wasn't a big deal. But number two, I kind of entered that trade for the content and talked about how it was a really bad trade and talked about do not do this. You're going to lose all your money. So I'm kind of glad that lesson probably got through to people. It's like, okay, yeah, he just kind of jumped into a trade and got destroyed, right? And that's the key, or that's why you want to set your trap, right? Set your levels on the chart, and that's your trap. And you just want to wait for price to approach your key level, and then you're simply looking for your confirmations. If you don't get the confirmations, you don't take the trade. Where that Pepe trade, I don't even remember what we did. I think I just blindly entered on a bullish divergence on like the 15-minute. Yeah, you don't just want to trade willy-nilly any bullish divergence. It is likely going to end up like that, and you could see that as proof yesterday. Shout out to Darren Does Think said, Frankie, you need to test. Also, rest up, and we'll see you well tomorrow. Shout out to Darren. I really do appreciate that, bro. But before we hop out of here, guys, shout out to Eric says, thanks for that membership. Shout out to Golden for gifting it to him. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Do you think the Head & Shoulders is still in play? I assume you're talking about this right here, where I was kind of looking at this as somewhat of a Head & Shoulders, potentially. And I will say this. Again, I am not a huge pattern trader, but if this was a Head & Shoulders, this would be the neckline. So if we do come back to bullishly retest that neckline, that could be an area where you would be looking for a long position or just looking for a potential bounce up to higher prices. And if I just go ahead and grab our... if you just kind of roughly measure out this measured move or this technical target, pull it to the breakout, it brings us right into that purple box. So it would make a lot of sense if we were to get a bounce here, push up off that 12-hour green dot. This key level right here that we just looked at between 28,042 and 28.3 is going to be, that's going to be a big target for me, at least if we do get a pump, to take some more profit off of my larger long position, which I just kind of pulled up right here. Oh, no, that's the scalp long. And then the bigger position is right here. I am currently out of this position. I closed this position in full, but still holding this for a potential bigger move up. But I'm willing to ride this bigger long down a little bit further than the scalp, right? Because if we push down to here, I would have gotten stopped out. So I'm just taking my win on this scalp to kind of replace the money I lost on that Pepe trade yesterday, even though it was small. But there you go. That is kind of my that is basically my plan for managing that trade. Shout out to Panda Storm. Thank you so much for that super chat. Says, no, you don't want to miss another stream, but we want you healthy more than we need the stream. We'll be here for you when you feel better. Shout out to Panda Storm. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. But again, before we pop out of here, guys, I do want to go ahead and cover Ethereum really quickly. And I want to go over XRP because, guys, we got to cover that thumbnail. If I put it on the thumbnail, we're at least going to take a look at it. So let's go ahead and, shout out to Norinin. Shout out to you, bro. I'm sorry if I butchered your name. Thank you for that super chat. He says, the Mafia comes to you on this day for the sauce. Godfather Frankie remembers and provides. Shout out to you, bro. Every single weekday right here at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And again, I missed so many streams last week that I was not willing to just completely call off of this one. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, this is bad. I could feel the sweat like dripping down my body underneath my sweatshirt right now. So maybe TMI, but yeah, I am burning up right now. But let's see. Eat a raw clove of garlic before bedtime. Post. Shout out to Malone. Bro, you don't even have to talk me into that. I'll eat a clove of I'm Italian. I'll eat a clove of garlic for fun. So hey, Mrs. Candles, I'm gonna have to let Mrs. Candles know to maybe go pick up a thing of garlic. I asked her, guys. I asked her if she could pop in on stream with that beautiful and delicious smelling hand and just pop a thermometer in my mouth from off camera And guys, she was not having it. She's like, no, you're weird. I'm not doing that. You're embarrassing me. So it's so funny. Mrs. Candles is the funniest person ever. But let's go ahead. Liking the new hat. Bing bong. Shout out to Timothy Bunch. I appreciate that, bro. These will be available on the new merch store very, very soon. Yeah, this is a sample, but we will have these very soon. But I appreciate that. I actually like it, too. Like I said, I'm very picky with these hats. Shout out to Creighton C. Bro, thank you so much for the super chat, man. You're crazy. There's those Mrs. Candles hands in chat. Let's go. But Creighton C, bro, thank you so much for that. He says, dude, just soak in a hot, steamy bath. And Dave, snap out of it. He's sick. No fantasy time. Anyway, steam hot tea with lemon and honey. Help open you up. Dave, this is serious. Frankie, stop saying burning up and sweaty. Sorry, guys. I'm going to get right back to the charts because I don't want anybody getting out of hand in chat here. Shout out to Dave Digital. I love you, bro. And shout out to Creighton C. Thank you so much for that super chat, bro. I really do appreciate that, man. It's not a small amount of money. I really do appreciate that. And there's those Mrs. Candles hands. But, guys, with all that being said, let's go ahead. I want to take a quick look at the DXY, Ethereum, and XRP, and then we're going to go ahead and sign off. And this will probably be the earliest I will be in bed in the past, 10 years. But, yeah, let's go ahead and jump on into it. Yeah, shout out to everybody Smile said. Not many other streamers have the chat telling them to cut it early and rest up. Overly bullish on this channel. Everybody Smile. I'm overly bullish on you guys. You guys are out of control. And yeah, it's unbelievable. It's like the fact that we have such cool people in this community is insane. So yeah, shout out to the Mafia, 100%. Mafia till I die, till I die. But let's go ahead and jump on in here. Okay, let's continue on. Taking a look at the DXY, guys. And the DXY has clearly been on a pretty consistent uptrend here. Almost at 107. I do believe we were looking at a golden pocket somewhere up at this level recently. And there it is. About 107. About 107. I actually remember the day we hadn't looked at the DXY in quite some time, and somebody in chat said that CryptoFace was looking for the DXY to potentially go to 107, and I said, well, I mean, Face is a savage. If Face says it's going to 107, there's probably, you don't take that lightly, right? Face says going to 107. He's saying it for a reason, right? And we came to the chart, and we did some analysis, and I was like, I see 107. That's not impossible. And here we are, sitting at about 106.77. And we do have that 786 sitting at about 108. So here we are. Shout out to CryptoFace. Shout out to Market Cypher. Here we are. I assume that he knew that based off of Market Cypher. But yeah, shout out to CryptoFace. Here we are at 107. Here's the thing, guys. This is likely going to give us some resistance. And with that being said, over time here, money flow on the 8-hour is continuing to the downside. Momentum is kind of flat, but take it up to the daily, and you can see here, red dot printing on the daily, and you could even argue that there is a slight bearish divergence, and I know a lot of people say you can't have bear divs on the DXY, but again, I do this constantly like it's my day job. They say you can't have bearish divergences on the DXY, and I just say, listen, I don't care if it's like a technicality, but if these bear divs play out, I'm going to trade them, right? Or I'm going to base my decisions. I'm going to take it into account on my analysis. And you can see here, all these bear divs that I am marking out, higher highs, lower highs, dump, right? And, they do play out. When they stop playing out, I'll stop looking at them. Higher highs, lower highs, dump. We could wind up seeing a little bit of downside here. Now, it's not guaranteed, but we are hitting that golden pocket retracement on top of having that slightly local bearish divergence. And it's not that strong, guys. It's not that strong. It's very slight. Now, let me pull up Lux Algo real quick, see if they're picking it up on their oscillator. Yeah, you got the bearish divergence marked out on Lux Algo here as well. And you can see, just go ahead and backtest that. Yeah, like this local bear div, that was the one we just talked about. Dumpski. So yeah, not 100% guaranteed, but oftentimes they do play out even on the DXY. But we are getting that bear div slightly on the daily. And you can even see right here, this last little div, and if for anybody curious, the reason that we know the div is there because that yellow line, the Lux Algo Matrix Oscillator just marks it out for you. But really what you're looking at here, once you get that confirmation of the bear div, you did get a slight move down. Now again, wasn't a big move, but we could wind up seeing that because not only do we have that slight little bear div right here, we also have we are also hitting a key level of support, or I'm sorry, resistance. So it's going to add a little bit of confidence to that move to the downside. Mrs. Candles, Mrs. What's the verdict? Oh my God, that's not good. Don't say that. You're making me scared. She said, "Oh my God." I know I'm dripping sweat right now. I'm in bad shape, Mrs. Candles. Please say, but what are you doing? Are you trying to read? I don't like that. Stick it. Whew, almost said something that you guys would have loved in chat. Get the one that goes in your mouth. I almost said something else. What is it? Is it fever? All right. She says it's not bad. All right. It's not that bad. So hey, I guess we can continue the DXYTA here, guys. But again, seeing that bear tip, there's those hands. Let's go. I thought she was gonna come stick the thermometer in my mouth. I thought that would be funnier, but she just put the thing to my head. That was kind of scary. I'm not going to lie. Mrs. Candles could have asked for whatever she wanted at that moment. I didn't know what she was going to do with that thing. I didn't know if that thing was dangerous or not. Rod the Crypto Snob said, not that bad. Mrs. Candles is off camera going like, stop, cut the stream, stop, you're dying. And I'm just like, no. Shout out to Rob. But let's go ahead and see. Let's see. We need a thermometer emoji. Let's go. 101, not that bad. But yeah, sniff him. She already ran away. She wouldn't let me sniff him because she doesn't want to get sick. Vic says, "You lucky man." Some of the best smelling hands in the day, in the world here. Shout out to you, bro. Hey, shout out to Raven, says love from Pakistan. Shout out to you, bro. Thank you for tuning in all the way from Pakistan. Dave Digital saying, atta girl, Mrs. Candles. You make us proud, too. Guys, Mrs. Candles' birthday is coming up here on the 17th. Guys, what should I get Mrs. Candles for her birthday? Give me some ideas here. Actually, I'm going to open up the Q&A here, guys. I'm going to open up the Q&A. What should I get Mrs. Candles for her B-Day? And if you guys click on that Q&A, you guys can put your thoughts in that Q&A. And I will say this. It's got to be a nice gift, guys. It's got to be a nice gift. Mrs. Candles deserves it, not only for just dealing with me, but, she deals with a very non-typical job that I have that does take almost all of my time, and she's an absolute angel about it. So let me know in that Q&A. Let's see. Okay, let's continue on here, guys. So DXY, going to be watching that for a potential rejection here. Pulling back up Market Cipher B. The one thing that has me a little concerned here is this money flow absolutely eating to the upside. Somewhat, not alarming, but somewhat concerning here for a move to the downside. We could easily peak out here, and this could be the top of your wave. But I would like to see money flow coming out on the daily. We simply don't have that. So you obviously want to be careful of that potential shot up to that 786, which again is coming in at 108.58. So coming down to some of the lower time frames, looking at the 4-hour, money flow starting to come out a little bit locally. You also have that confirmed bearish divergence into the golden pocket on the 4-hour as well. Shout out to Tony D, said, buy her the whole world. She deserves it. Tony D is very, very close to Mrs. Candles as well. Tony D's known Mrs. Candles as long as I have. Maybe I should tell my origin story of Mrs. Candles. It's actually pretty interesting. But I know that if I say it, it's going to be very controversial, and it may not start controversy, but I know chat's going to go absolutely ballistic because there is a little bit of an age gap between me and Mrs. Candles. It's not that crazy, but maybe we'll tell that origin story. But yeah, Mrs. Candles is a special person for real. Oh my God. All right, let's see. Shout out to Jeet. Shout out to you, bro. This is a Bing Bong hat. These will be in the merch store very, very soon. Shout out to Crypto Lady, said put a ring on it. Maybe. I think she could hear me, guys. But let's go ahead and, oh my God, yeah, she's an older woman, guys. She's an older woman. I'm not going to say how old, but she's an older woman. 55, yeah, she's not 65, she's 55. Astro Zombie, what is going on, bro? Good to see you in here, man. Thank you for tuning in. And I'm sorry for the low energy. If it is low, I'm sick. Servando Estrada, what is going on, bro? So said I love your channel. Well, happy to see you in here again, Servando. I appreciate you for tuning in. But let's go ahead and continue on here. Again, that 1-hour money flow is cruising to the downside. So this would be this would give us a little bit of an assistance to the downside if we do wind up confirming that bear div on the daily. And then when we go ahead and combine that, I mean, we don't have the We don't have the 16-hour red dot looking to print. It's already confirmed. I mean, you are getting these bear divs, guys. And again, it doesn't necessarily mean we're going to nuke. It could just be a little pop to the downside before going for that 786. But it does look like the DXY may be losing a little bit of steam here as the VWAP on the weekly is also coming to the downside. And you guys know we've done this many, 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 many times. These weekly money flow crossovers into the red on the DXY is not necessarily always or is typically a very bearish sign for the DXY, and almost every other money flow crossover into the red on Market Cipher B that we've had on the weekly for the DXY has resulted or at least been very, very close to the Bitcoin bull runs or the crypto bull runs. Shout out to Golden, said wrap this up and go get some rest. We want to see you healthy. Shout out to Golden, bro. Not only gifting an insane amount of memberships, but also out here with the super chats. Golden, I'm gonna like make you a part of I'm gonna get like a new neon sign where it's like Frankie Candles, and then you're like maybe like right here. Like we'll get like an avatar for you, and it's like you just like popping over the candles like, hey, I'm here too. But shout out to Golden, man. I really, really, really do appreciate you, man. Really, man. Shout out to you. Crypto Jam said Frankie half-story candles. Yeah, I'm kidding, guys. Mrs. Candles is not older than me. I am older than her. But don't worry, it's legal. But let's go ahead and continue on. Yeah, shout out. Yeah, sponsored by Golden. He makes it rain, I'll say. But let's go ahead and continue on here. That's what we're looking at for the 786. Wow. For the DXY. But real quick, guys, let's go ahead. I'm going to jump to XRP first, and then we can go ahead and hop into Ethereum before we go ahead and hop on out. But here we are, guys, and I want to talk a little bit about this. Now, again, XRP got the bullish news yesterday, and we did wind up getting a big move up, right? And I'll be honest, it's not like we pumped and then ate all the gains back down to the breakout. So this actually doesn't look too bad to me. But I will say this. I want to talk about this a little bit. People are wondering why XRP is not mooning. And here's the simple fact of the matter here, guys. We are in a bear market. And, you know, I talked about this as we eagerly awaited the outcome of the lawsuit or any kind of news to come out about this XRP lawsuit. And, you know, I talk about it all the time, saying to people, you know, anyone I'm talking to, if it's Tony or what have you, I always talk about how, you know, even if they win the lawsuit in the bear market, that's kind of like the worst case scenario, in my opinion, because even if they it comes out 100%, they win, everything goes their way, and it's the best news possible. Are we going to see a price pump? Absolutely. At least in my opinion, I think it's very likely to get a pump out of that. But being in the bottom of a bear market is going to suppress that pump very, very, very extremely, right? So we're not going to see this thing rip up to new all-time highs, in my opinion, you know, in the middle of a bear market, right? And that's just simply why, like, you could see, like, all this bullish news, like, now, obviously, when we got the news about the lawsuit, we got a much, much, much bigger move. But you have to understand that this was like years almost of people anticipating a result, right? So there's a lot of FOMO being pushed into here. But simply put, we're in a bear market. The big money is simply not here. We don't have enough liquidity to moon this thing like it deserves. And that's simply because we're in a bear market. And I know a lot of people like to think like, oh, it's going to 10K, the escrow, et cetera, et cetera. But guys, in my opinion, based off of all of my TA experience, all of my trading experience, you know, like XRP is not going to 10K. I'm sorry. There's nobody on earth that wants XRP to go to 10K more than me. I promise you that. If XRP goes to 10K, I not only would never, like, I would be ungodly rich. Like, it's like almost like, it's out of control. And I will say this, you know, here's the thing. We've been stuck within this volume profile for quite some time. Let's just get right to the charts, right? And listen, I know there's theories of why XRP can hit that 10,000, the government buyback, all this stuff. But in my opinion, it's just not possible. It's hopium. It's people trying to pump their own bags, especially the big money. When you see these articles from these you know, big institutions especially coming out and saying XRP is going to 10K, you know, you have to understand that these people have incentive to put these things out there, right? They're trying to pump their own bags. So just keep that in mind. Again, I really hard. Yeah, the market cap is way too large already. And Cryptic Sniper, based off the market cap, XRP, it is impossible. If you're and I know that the reason they think it'll go to 10K, I saw 32K the other day, and I'm just like, this is out of control. Guys, can we come back down to earth? XRP is not going to 32K. And I am going on the record. You guys know I'm not someone who's going to sit here and say, this is definitely going to happen, because that's not how it works. But based off of my experience, it is impossible for XRP to hit 10K or 32K. Now, I will say that publicly, because if it one day does hit 10K, I will gladly come up here and be like, oh my God, guys, I was wrong. But I am live streaming to you guys from another planet, because I am a multi-quadrillionaire, and I was able to invent teleportation and go to another planet and stream from Mars with Elon Musk. So I'll just take that one on the chin if I lose it, because not only would it be like me just taking a massive loss, but it would also be me taking an even bigger win. So I have no problem being wrong about that. Let's see. News does nothing. Charts are the only thing that matters. Thesis himself. Thank you so much for that super chat, bro. Louder for the people in the back, my dude. Yeah, the news doesn't move the price, and typically when you hear the news, it's too late to make money on the price, right? Like, it's too late to make money or to make a move based off of that news, right? So just understand that. Like we even talk about before this big move here, we saw the signals on the charts before. There were signals to go long here. We had this daily bullish divergence at the value area low that you would have been looking to potentially long XRP to this value area high, or me personally, based off of my trading strategy, I may have been just looking for a long here anyway, and this is proof that it was on the charts before the news, right? So if you're just trading the charts, oftentimes you're gonna be in on the right side of the trade if you're just trading the charts, right? I can't tell you how many times I say this all the time. I can't tell you how many times people have come up to me and been like, "Oh my God, did you see the Elon dump?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm in a short based off of a technical factors." And it's like, oh, the news, like, that's weird. I was short based off of technical factors. I thought it was going to dump anyway, and all of a sudden there's news, right? So yeah, shout out to Thesis. Louder for the people in the back, bro. Let's see. Shout out to, what do we had? Another one. Shout out to Dave Digital said Algo. We could try to take a look at Algo. Wait, I got this. Algo to 0. Shout out to Dave Digital. We could check on Algo potentially. I don't know if I'll do full TA on it, but we'll check in on it. Shout out to Ray. Says, my bag is 50,000. By break even is 25K. What should be my plan under this? Understand this is financial advice. Shout out to Ray. This is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. As a matter of fact, this is all just entertainment. I don't even know what XRP is. I don't know what charts are. I just kind of talk about what I see on the screen and hope it goes up and down. Shout out to Ray. Not financial advice. He said he has a bag of 50K XRP. Break even is 25K. I mean, here's the thing. Here's my plan. What I could do for you, Ray, is I could tell you my plan. My plan is I'm holding XRP into the next bull run. Whenever that happens, if it happens based off the 4-year cycle, if it happens, we front run the halving or whatever happens, I'm going to be holding my XRP into the next bull run, right? Like I'm not selling. I'm not selling my XRP until for at least a couple of years. So for me, I'm holding, right? I'm going to hold. If we get a big dump, I'll just try to pick up some more, or maybe I won't. I'll probably buy some other stuff because my XRP bag is probably big enough at this point, especially if it goes to 10K. But thank you for that super chat, bro. I appreciate you so much. Okay, so let's go ahead and continue on here, right? So we've been looking at XRP within this volume profile, right? Saying that we're not expecting big moves up unless we break this value area high at 54.5 cents, and we're not expecting big dumps unless we break this low here at about 43 cents, almost 43.5 cents, right? And what happened? We got that little pump yesterday, which again, in the grand scheme of things, like wasn't that exciting, right? Like it was just, what was it? I think it was like maybe a 5% move. Let's see, from wick to wick. Okay, 8%. That's a significant move. You could trade that. And again here, guys, obviously it's very easy to see this hindsight. But just to point out here, like you had the bullish, confirmations here. Now I'm not doing the full analysis here. You would want to do more before getting into a long position. But like you had a bull div here on the 8-hour or the 1 hour anyway. So if you did further analysis and you had confirmation, you might have been looking for a long anyway. And then all of a sudden, boom, you get the news, you get the pump. But what's happening with the price, guys? Nothing really. Nothing. We got that little pump, and what happened? We came up and rejected the value area high. Now, the fact that we are, the fact that we did not eat all these gains up immediately does make me wonder if we can finally get a breakout here. And when we're taking a look at the daily time frame, money flow on the daily is coming up as it is on a lot of other things. So that would assist us. But again, look at your VWAP. It's likely not going to happen today, right? Because your VWAP is coming down on your daily, looking for a red dot to print on that momentum wave, and this will likely give you a potential further cool-off before potentially putting in a higher low, and continuing back to the upside. So that's kind of what I would be looking at, right? Like the levels remain exactly the same, but let's talk about if we do get a breakout. So here's the thing. I think I saw something about, I think I saw somebody that was saying that XRP could potentially hit $3 by the end of the year. Now, there's no telling it, for me at least, if that can or can't happen. However, I do want to talk about if we do get monster moves for XRP, where the next likely stops are going to be, right? And it has everything to do with the volume profiles, guys. It's how we were able, if you guys were back watching the streams back here, but when we got this Lambo candle, this is very, 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 this was very predictable, right? And we were looking up towards this previous value area between about $1.29 and 63 cents, knowing that we had found a balance within this volume profile at the, back here in 2021. As we bing-bonged around in this range, we knew that if we broke out of this area right here, and we broke out of, the current volume profile that we were in, which was right here, we knew if we broke out, the next major stops for XRP, or the next major roadblocks, would be the value area low, again, of that previous range from up here. And then we also were able to get insight into where it would go if we were able to break that level, which clearly we did, right? And I did this when we actually got the pump. If you go down to a low enough time frame, you respected, like you could even see here, you respected this value area low. Even though it looks like we shot right through it, you could see we wicked up and did get a rejection there. So that level was indeed respected. But then once you flip that level to support, you're simply going to be looking up towards that POC. And where did price go? And where did price reject? Right at that POC. So I'm going to be looking simply at the same exact thing here, right? Like I wish I could come up with like new exciting targets, but this is how it works, right? If we get that blast off out of our current volume profile and we break this value area high at about 54 cents, I'm going to be looking for the very, very same thing. And if we pull up our VPVR, we talked about this yesterday, you could see we have a pretty decent volume gap here, right? There's not much here. This is nothing but air. So if we could, if we could crack that level, flip it to support, we could indeed see another quick move up to that value area low. If we flip that to support, looking to come up towards that POC up here at about 83 cents. And if we could flip that level to support, we could be on our way to the value area high of the macro range, or the previous macro range, getting up there at about $1.29. And that would be a pretty big pump, right? That would be almost, almost double this pump, right? And then obviously we would be looking for serious resistance here, because again, what happens when you get up to those value area highs? Typically, that's where you're getting the rejections from, right? Rejection, rejection. So we're going to treat it exactly the same. You get support at the value area low. That's where you look for the longs, right? You get resistance at the value area highs. That's where you look for the shorts. And when you're range trading, even if you're not using the volume profile, you're going to be targeting basically the midpoint of the range, which in both of these scenarios wound up playing out. So let's talk about if, I don't know what I just exited out. Hopefully that wasn't important. Let's talk about if we could go even higher. And I'll just kind of cut the whole rigmarole here. And I'll just let you guys know. Basically, what I would be looking at for the long-term price targets for XRP, in my personal opinion, I could be wrong, and again, I actually do pray that I am wrong. But my highest target for the next bull run, unless we see some kind of craziness happen, I'm going to be looking at $851. I'm kidding, guys. I'm not looking anywhere near that. I'm sorry. I don't want to be the guy to say that XRP is not going to $1 million. But my realistic price targets for XRP are going to be about, and I'm probably going to make a video on XRP maybe this Sunday to put it out there to talk about what price targets I would actually be looking at as I'm actually doing the technical analysis. But really, those roughed out levels are going to be, guys, you want to reclaim let me pull up. Hang on. How far back does this go? Yeah, we got to go. Well, basically, this is what I'm looking for, guys. At the most, at the highest, I would not really be looking for anything above a $15 XRP. And I'm not saying that that is guaranteed by any means. That is not guaranteed. And I don't care who's telling you it is. It is not. Just like they're telling you $10,000 is guaranteed, it's not. And nobody can say that. It doesn't mean that $15 won't happen. But I'm looking at the higher end, between like $15 and $18, and I will say this, I'm not waiting to get there to take profit on my XRP, guys. I want to be frank with you. I want to be transparent, no pun intended. I want to be transparent with you guys. I don't want to come up here and try to tell people that XRP is going to $1 million and then everyone's holding their bag. And then, number one, it's just not realistic. And number two, here's the thing, guys. I don't want to be the guy sitting up here saying, okay, well, in the next bear market, like, okay, well, XRP topped out at $7. Probably shouldn't have told people it was going to $100, right? Like, I'm never going to be that guy because, number one, I'm never going to guarantee price predictions, right? And if anybody is, please, for the love of God, run as fast as you can. No one can guarantee a price prediction. I think we learned that in the previous, I think we've learned that in time, right? Like, if you're on crypto YouTube enough, and again, a lot of people, all the people that we associate with don't do that, but, it's more on TikTok. You'll see people just talk about crazy stuff, like guaranteeing these price predictions, and I'm just like, these people are out of control. So, it's bad for business. These people, that's how you know if someone's really in this because they want to be here or if they're just popping in on the bull run for a money grab, because those people, it's in their best interest to tell you that everything's going up to $1 million because it's going to keep their views up. It's going to keep the link clicks up. It's going to keep the attention on them, which makes them money. They probably don't even care about crypto or invest in crypto. They just see it as a money grab. And these people don't care if those price predictions don't happen because they're not going to be here in the bear market. They're just coming in for the quick money grab, and then they're going to leave. They're going to make their money and then, go screw off and probably go lay on a beach somewhere with the millions that they made, right? But that's not why I'm here. I am excited for the next bear market because we crushed this bear market shorting, and I can't wait. I'm not saying I can't wait for the bear market, but we built this channel in a bear market. I am not here for a quick bull market money grab. That's for dang sure. I want people to come to my channel and be like, hey, this is the only guy that was saying it wasn't going to $1 million. Probably should, stay tuned, right? I might as well remain subscribed to the channel because he gave me legitimate information, not hopium, to keep people clicking on the link. So there you go. I would say, like, really, between $5 and $15 is really where I'm looking at, and I'm not waiting for $15 to sell. I will be laddering out on the way up. So there you go. Let's see. Shout out to Knock Stars TV. Shout out to you, bro. He says the financial advisor that told me $10,000 XRP coin was 450 pounds, bald head, sat in an oversized recliner with a built-in. Shout out to Knock Stars. I don't know. I don't even really want to read that because I don't know if you're talking about a real person. It sounds like you're joking, like talking about a fictional person. But if you are talking about a real person, I don't want to say anything not nice about them because I don't know who they are. But yeah, I mean, that's the thing. And again, guys, if I'm wrong, please, for the love of God, I pray that I'm wrong. Because if I'm wrong, I'll be like, guys, I was the wrongest I've ever been in my life. But I'm a multi-quadrillionaire. So hey, that makes I'll be crying with my $100 bills. But they won't be $100 bills. They'll just be solid bars of gold or platinum. So yeah, that's like that kind of money is the money where you just start buying solid gold Lamborghinis for $5 million a piece, and you have 100 of them like a petrol trillionaire. But yeah, there you guys go. You ever see $5? Sell it all. AZTV, I will be selling at least some at $5. $15 would be really nice. Yeah, and just to be clear, definitely not like guaranteed there, right? Like, again, I will be selling on the way up. And listen, if we get up, maybe we get some crazy thing to happen and this thing yeets up to $10 before the end of the bull run, which, again, I want to be very clear. Very unlikely. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but if something unpredicted happens, this is what I love about the charts because you can't lie. You can't or you can't get tricked, right? You can reassess the situation. And you could just reassess the situation, and if things look bullish, then you could find higher targets from there. But between $5 and $15 is really where I would be looking for XRP in the next bull run. I know it's not as fun as $10,000, but it is the honest truth, at least in my opinion. Again, I could be wrong, which I know a lot of people are not willing to say that out there. But that's just unrealistic, right? I've been wrong before. If you watch this channel, like, we've been wrong before. Everything is recorded, right? Like, you can't hide it. But there you go. All right, so there we go. I love your honesty and integrity, Frankie. Shout out to Cryptic Sniper. I think it's important. I think we need more of that in this space. Let's see. Oh wait, hang on. Shout out to Golden. Yo, shout out to Golden, man. Hopefully, wait, you didn't super chat again, did you, Golden? Shout out to Brock. Thank you for that super chat, bro. He says, hey, how high do you think Matic's 5-day bull div can take us? I'll take a quick look at Matic here in just a second. But, guys, that's my spiel on XRP. I am an XRP bull. I'm just a realist, and that's it. And as soon as the tide changes and it looks like we're going to 10K, your boy Frankie Candles will be one of the first people to tell you. But let's go ahead and I'll take a quick look at Matic here. Actually caught a nice little scalp short on Matic last night, or actually minutes before I went live, guys. I was trying to get a short setup here on Matic put into the premium Discord where we put the actual trade setup, looking for a potential short down to this value area low, and it happened very quickly. I think my highest hit rate in the premium Discord are the trades. Like, I don't think I've lost a trade with the setups that I put in the Discord right before the stream. There's something lucky about me, like, trying to get my intros rolling on the live stream, and I'm like, okay, guys, like, looking for this, and that, watching for a push up to this level, and looking for a short on Matic. Here's the targets, right? And then, like, I put it in right as I'm like, what's going on, everybody? And for some reason, I get really lucky with those setups. But we did catch that nice little scalp short, and maybe I can make a pre-recorded video kind of doing a trade recap of this. But there you go. Let me go ahead. Excuse me, let me go ahead and hide this. But let's go ahead and take a look at the 5-day. So I do see what you're talking about, Brock. I do see the yo, shout out to Golden. Golden says, Frankie, go home, rest your body and mind. I appreciate you so much, bro. I'm gonna right after Matic, I'm gonna hop out of here. But we have that higher low here. I do see, Brock, what you're talking about. You have that lower low on your price action. Mrs. Candles just came in and said, cut it. Am I, like, dripping sweat in front of everybody? Like, you're hot. Oh, thank you. She said, you're hot. I think she was like, you're hot. Did you bite your lip? Sorry, guys. I embarrass Mrs. Candles like she's my, yeah, okay, I'm not going to say it. Yo, Wayne C with the candle hands every time you come in. Show him the hand. I know it. That was a lazy smell, guys. That was a lazy sniff, but I'm sick. I can't smell it, which actually probably confirms what illness I have. But let's go ahead and continue on. Tony D brought me that. Guys, Tony D, yo, the hands. Oh, my God. Mrs. Candles, you see how much they love your hands? Mrs. Candles feels a little bit weird right now. She's very easily uncomfortable. Donato Cabrera with the inhaler emoji, too funny. But yeah, Tony D, thank you for the super chat. He said Matic is the last altcoin for tonight. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look here. We do have that 5-day bull div. Here it is. And shout out to the bull divs, guys, especially on the higher time frames like this. It's very unlikely that you see this give you absolutely no reaction. Like, oftentimes you will get some kind of a move here. But here's the thing. There's really no way to measure how far this divergence can take us. The only thing I can really think of to do is to try to find another bull div on the same time frame and try to measure it and then compare and contrast. But the problem with that is that, yo, these Mrs. Candles hands are killing me. Anyway, we need a nose emoji. But the problem with that is just because, like, we had a somewhat of a wonky bull div right here. But again, like, this is a different part of the market, right? So, like, here's the thing. Let's assume, right, we have a weekly bull div here on Bitcoin. Lower lows, higher lows, right? Now, this was not the only bull div that we've ever gotten on Bitcoin. You could see we actually had a slight bullish divergence right here where you have lower price action with the higher lows right here locally on your momentum waves. And that wound up giving you a pump of about, if you just go from wick to wick, about 142%. But here's the thing. This was like a local bull div. Here's another slight bull div right here. Like, even right here during the March 2020 crash, we have higher lows, lower lows, and that was essentially the start of your bull run. Right? So that one was 1,800%, where this one was only 145%. So if this is indeed the bottom of the bear market, like I tend to believe at this point, it's already, this weekly bull div has already brought us up 103%. But it's going to be really hard to compare it to past price action because if this is the bottom, it's going to look like, if we go into another bull run and let's say Bitcoin gets to 100K, it's going to wind up being a 505% pump. So it's just really hard to measure because it's all different. Is it happening in a bull market? Is it happening in a bear market? Is it happening at the bottom of the cycle? Is it happening during a black swan event? There's just a lot of things that go into trying to measure something like that. And that's really the only way I can try to think about trying to, estimate how high a bullish divergence can get you. But what I could do is I can definitely find you some macro levels of support and resistance that might be a good place to start cooling off. So let's go ahead and shout out to you guys. 1 second. I'm going to finish here, guys. But let's go back to the 5-day here. And I'm just going to go ahead and I'll pull this local, kind of macro fib here from this high to, actually, let me remove, not the indicators, let me remove all the drawings, bada boom. And let's go ahead and find some levels here. So I'm going to pull from this high at about $1.57 all the way to our wick low down here, closer to about 48 cents. And this is likely, let me pull up Lux Algo really quickly. And this is why, guys, Mrs. Candles doesn't allow me out of the house when I'm sick because I never come back. All right, so let's see here. What am I looking for? I want to go into, let's go into the price actions concepts settings, and I want to go ahead and pull up the order blocks and see if okay, so that's what I thought. Okay, Yo, shout out to Dave Digital said, Frankie, can you please do one more altcoin? I'll do whatever altcoin you want, Dave. I got you. Lasagna's getting cold, Frankie. Shout out to Joe Hackman. Yo, shout out to you, bro. Oh, God. The lasagna's getting cold, Frankie. I could hear my mother saying that. Frankie, the lasagna's getting cold. Shout out to my mom if she's seeing this right now. But this would be a pretty confluent area, in my opinion, right? Because not only do you have this giant order block here. It's coming down to the daily time frame. Okay, so yeah, not only do you have that giant order block, but you also have your 786 golden pocket retracement. Now, this is more of a macro retracement, and yeah, I would mark this out as a significant level. Yeah, this is going to be a big level of resistance. And we'll find some lower levels as well. If we pull a little bit more of a local fib, yeah, this is. If I pull it from this wick to the low, I would actually look at this as well. This would be more of a local resistance when looking at the 5-day time frame. Please keep in mind. Yo, they're planning a walkout. Yo, no way, bro. No way. Everybody just leaves the stream. Low key, that would be... yo, shout out to Dave Digital, bro. You're funny, man. Dude, it would be so, low key be funny. It'd probably be horrible for the algorithm. But so please don't do that. I think that would be bad for the algorithm. Maybe. I'm kind of just guessing that. Nobody knows how the YouTube algorithm works, but that's hilarious that I just look up, nobody's here. Oh, God. But these are the, real quick and simple, we'll just wrap it up right here. This is what I'd be looking at. I forget exactly who super chatted this or asked for this, but these are two major levels I would look for, right? And this would be a significant move, even into that local level. 40% pump up into this purple box. So these are, between about 87 and 78 cents. That's going to be the first major level of resistance for me. And then up here, even higher up, between $1.15 and $1.34 would be another big area to look at. And there you go, Lux Alco popping in that bullish divergence on the 5-day. Okay, guys, with all that being said, I think that is all the time I got for tonight's live stream. Ooh, baby, we're hot. We're hot. But yeah, I think that's all the time we got for tonight's live stream. Like I said, guys, smash up that like button. We will be spinning the wheel of pain and pleasure tomorrow night on the stream, assuming that I'm not super, super sick still. Either way, I will still show up. We got 292 likes, guys. Let's run it up to at least 450, and we'll give you guys 10 spins on the wheel tomorrow so we can go ahead and give away some awesome stuff on Friday. And, guys, don't forget, I will be on the Jason Casper YouTube channel at I believe Tony D can give you guys the time. I will be on the Jason Casper YouTube channel tomorrow night around 7 o'clock, so keep an eye out for that. And with all that being said, guys, thank you all so much for the super chats. Thank you, Golden, for all the gifted memberships. I'm sorry I have to cut this one short, guys. but I am literally probably about to pass out. So with all that being said, guys, I'll see you here tomorrow. Same place, same time, 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the Frankie Candles YouTube channel. That's all I got. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong.
I've been on the road, I've been doing shows. Now we eating steak, remember sleeping on the floor. We Stealing at the gas station when the time was cold. In the kitchen, hot, still trying to flip it out the stove. Rocking fake J's, praying that nobody know. Watch them take my dog away, it was way too hard to stay composed. Fight to see the light of day, all this blood on my clothes. I was tired every day, green light, it's time to go. I don't wanna live life fast or die too young. Die too young. 100 miles per hour, I might crash, cause the good die young. Yeah, the good die young. Push it to the limit, I can't go no more. Red light, no way, I'm coming back home. Long dirt road, all on my own. I'ma be the greatest, write my name in the stone. Write my name in the stone. Yeah, I'm coming back home. Yeah, I'm coming back home. Write my name in the stone. Cause I'm coming back home. Cause I'm coming back home. Right back where I left because I know my people needed me. Diamond in the rough, I don't know what it is they see in me. Go down as a legend in my city cause we beat the streets. Trying to spread the wealth around the block, no I can't keep from me. Told me I should leave. I see the bigger picture and it's way bigger than me. Can't be living like a king, but my people need to eat. If I got it, then you got it, we gon' get back on our feet. And I put it on me. I don't wanna live life fast or die too young. Or die too young. 100 miles per hour, might crash cause good die young. Yeah, but here I come. Push it to the limit, I can't go no more. Red light, no way, I'm coming back home. Long dirt road, all on my own. I'ma be the greatest, write my name in the stone. Write my name in the stone. Yeah, I'm coming back home. Yeah, I'm coming back home. Write my name in the stone. Cause I'm coming back home. Cause I'm coming back home. I'm coming back home. I'm coming back home. Y'all coming back home. Y'all coming back home. I'm coming back home. Y'all coming back. Push it to the limit, I can't go no more. Red light, no way, I'm coming back home. Long dirt road, all on my own. I'ma be the greatest, write my name in the stone. Write my name in the stone. Yeah, I'm coming back home. Yeah, I'm coming back home. Write my name in the stone. Cause I'm coming back home. Yeah, I'm coming back home. Write my name in the stone. Cause I'm coming back home. Yeah, I'm coming back home.
Oh my God. Okay, hang on one second, guys. I forgot to look at the list of things that you guys want me to get Mrs. Candles for her birthday. I'm going to say this quietly, and hopefully I don't read anything bad. Love. Shout out to the American show X. That is what Miss Candles would want. I know that for a fact. That's all she cares about. That's all she wants. She's not materialistic at all. So shout out to the American show X. Dude, you nailed it right off the bat. That's probably what she wants. Darren does things, says ring. Oh, now Darren, let's go. Shout out to you, bro. XRP inhaler. Oh my God. Panda Storm, I see you. I see you with the rings. BTC, put a ring on it. Cheeks, I see you, bro. I'm gonna skip those because I don't want to say it too loud. She deserves it. Shout out to Gary C. XRP. A necklace. Ooh, maybe a necklace. Maybe a Frankie Candles chain. A day off. Shout out to actually David. Yeah, David and the American show X are definitely saying what Mrs. Candles wants. A day off for me to hang out with her and give her love. Shout out to Crypto AL says a baby. Oh my God, I don't know if she wants that. At least as of right now. A vacation somewhere sunny and warm near clear blue waters. I like that. Her birthday is 2 days before mine. Libras for the win. Shout out to Cheeks. Lots and lots of water. Dark Crash. Shout out to you, bro. I wish I had water here. Shout out to you, bro. I do have water here. Dark Crash is the only reason I drink water. Shout out to you, bro. Lots and lots of water. She deserves it all. Whoop, whoop. Happy birthday from me, the water boy. Shout out to Dark Crash. Let's go. Bobby Chulo says, yes, at Kaipto Cowboy. Let's see. Flowers, dinners, dress shoes, sexy thing under, and some bling bling. Let's go. Shout out to Crypto Champagne. I can't really see that. It's very small. But shout out to you, bro. A little bling bling. She might like a little bling bling. Gotta be a ring. Shout out to Crypto Jam. We got a bigger thermometer. Yo. Tony D said retirement. I will never retire, guys. I'll be 80 years old doing this, but we'll probably be like in 3D or something. I don't know. Heated coffee mug. Funny you say that. Who said that? Shout out to Elionics. Heated coffee mug Ember. Mrs. Candles actually got me an Ember mug for my birthday, which is funny that you say that. Oh, no, like make her retire. Yeah, I tell Mrs. Candle all the time. She should just retire. But, guys, I think that's all the time we got for today's live stream. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you for the birthday recommendations. I'll let you guys know. I'm going to give Mrs. Candles her gifts on stream to make her really uncomfortable because she hates that. But with all that being said, guys, I will see you tomorrow. Same place, same time, 5:45. Don't forget, 7 o'clock. Tony D will probably correct me on the time. 7 o'clock, maybe 7:30 on the Jason Casper YouTube channel. Don't forget, I'll remind you guys tomorrow. But that's all I got. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Hasta pasta. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming on my landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command like, yeah, you about to see me on demand like, you know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't never going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah, at the top of the class on a roll, ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know, yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah, on the road, here we go, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, ayy, on the road, here we go, yeah, at the top of the class on a roll, ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah you know, yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor, yeah, on the road, here we go.